Greetings, family. It's me, your boy, Dr. Samuel D. Abbott, and I'm back with another Monday Momentum. Look, family, there is a tension that shows up in growth. It's the tension of knowing you're no longer where you used to be, but you haven't fully stepped into what you're supposed to be. And in that space, that's where people hesitate. Not because they don't know what to do, but because movement requires commitment. Look, family, once you move, you can't pretend you're still where you were. You have to fully embrace it. And at that level, the issue is not clarity, it's execution. So this week is not about trying to figure anything out. It's not about advancing what you already know. It's simply about movement. So in that light, I have one framework for you and one word: move. Family, in order for us to move, you must first make room for what's next. Movement is not just about going forward. It's about clearing space for what's trying to come forward, because you cannot move forward if your capacity is already occupied. And some of you are trying to move, but your hands are full of old responsibilities, full of outdated commitments, full of things that no longer match where you're going. And when your capacity is full, your movement becomes restricted. You don't need more time. You need more space, because what's next requires room. Room in your time, room in your thinking, room in your focus, and room in your decisions. Because movement is not always about adding something. Sometimes it's about removing what's in the way. In other words, movement requires release. Not emotional release, but intentional release. Because you don't drop everything, you remove what's in the way. Because if you don't make room, you will delay what's already ready to come forth. I need you to say this with me: I make room for what's next. Family, the next thing we must do in order to move is operate from where you're going. Movement is not just about steps, it's about position. Because most people operate from where they are, but not you. Growth requires you to operate from where you're going. That means, family, you don't wait for the title to carry the responsibility, nor do you wait for the opportunity to develop the discipline. You don't wait for it to arrive to adjust your thinking. You operate from the level ahead. Your decision should reflect it. Your posture reflects it. Your standard reflects it. Because if your operation stays behind, your progress will slow down. You don't grow into it later. You step into it right now. You don't wait for the moment to arrive to start acting like it. You operate from it right now. You step into that mindset, to that discipline, to that expectation of where you're going, and you move from here into there right now. I need you to say this with me right now: I operate from my next level. Family, another thing we must do in order to move is have velocity with control. Speed without control leads to mistakes, but control without movement leads to stagnation. Family, you need both, because if you move too fast, you lose accuracy, but if you move too slow, you lose momentum. So velocity with control means you are moving consistently without becoming careless. You are advancing without losing awareness. You are building pace without sacrificing precision. This, family, is not emotional movement. It's disciplined movement. Because forward progress is not built on burst. It's built on controlled continuation. This is not about going fast. It's about going forward continuously. And finally, family, what we need to move is to expand your range. At some point, What stretched you should no longer stop you. At some point, what used to challenge you should become normal. And when it becomes normal, you expand again. Expansion, in other words, is intentional. You take on more responsibility. You increase your capacity. You stretch your execution, because if you don't expand your range, you will plateau right where you are. Movement, family, requires expansion, and expansion requires courage. You take on what used to feel out of your reach. You move in spaces that once felt unfamiliar. You carry weight that once felt heavy, because growth that is not expanded becomes growth that is contained, and containment leads to stagnation. So don't settle into the level. Stretch beyond it. As I said last week, stretch out. Family, this week, clear the space. Step into position. Move with control and stretch your range, because staying where you are is no longer an option. Not because you're forced, but because you've outgrown it. So here's your framework again. Make room for what's next. Operate from where you're going. Have velocity with control, and expand your range. This is not a week of preparation. This is a week of movement. I'm Dr. Samuel Abbott with another Monday Momentum, and I just simply want to remind you, move.